The Newsday continues here on One News Now Business. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the biggest stories on the economic and corporate fronts. President Bongbong Marcos claims the passage of essential tax measures is key in the country's economic recovery from the pandemic. During his second State of the Nation address on Monday, Marcos urged Congress to pass these new tax measures to boost the government's coffers. These include the excise tax on single-use plastics, value-added tax on digital services, rationalization of the mining fiscal regime, and the motor vehicle users charge. The proposed reform of the pension system for military and uniformed personnel is also included.
Higher revenue collections will be critical in our bid to bolster public investments. Under our fiscal framework, we envision our tax and revenue efforts to further increase to up to 16.9% and 17.3% by 2028. We therefore seek, once again, the continued support of Congress to enact into law the policies and reforms under our fiscal framework.
The president also touted the recent cooling of inflation, noting that the country's inflation rate is on the right track. Inflation eased to 5.4% in June, still more than Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas' 2 to 4% target.
Inflation rate is moving in the right direction. From 8.7% in January, our inflation has continued to ease up in all regions, settling now at 5.4% for June. What this means is that in spite of all the difficulties, we are transforming the economy. We are stabilizing the prices of all critical commodities.
President Bongbong Marcos also touted the Philippines' economic growth despite a global slowdown. But his remarks earned him mixed reactions about the country's current economic state. Paul Fabula, who sits as CEO of Citi Philippines, believes that a shift in the country's foreign policy helped make the Philippines more attractive to investors. Fabula also says the president's official visits to other countries also played a positive role despite criticisms.
We're happy with what we're seeing. We hope that the trend continues. There are always risks all over the place, right? But if we get this right, I think this could be something really game-changing.
The Management Association of the Philippines also believes that the president was right to acknowledge improvements on the economic front. However, the group says that the administration should ensure that economic improvements is also felt by ordinary people. Meanwhile, RCBC Chief Economist Mike Ricafort lauded the president's agricultural solutions to temper inflation. However, Ricafort issued a warning when it comes to infrastructure spending.
Dahil limited yung financial resources, so pa-prioritize natin. Ano ba doon yung ipa-prioritize? Ang realidad, magastos yung mga malalaking infrastruktura, no? Pero ang tanong kasi doon, paano naman yung yung impact nun sa utang ng bansa? Lalo na kung kasi dapat consistent yun no? Yung i-manage yung paglaki ng uutangin, bansa natin, lalo na kung sobrang mahal.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Some weather updates. Egay has intensified into a super typhoon earlier today. As of 7 in the morning, Pagasa spotted Egay center some 310 kilometers east of Tuguegarao City, Cagayan. The super typhoon is packing maximum sustained winds of 185 kilometers per hour with gustiness of up to 230 kilometers per hour. Egay is currently moving northwestward at 10 kilometers per hour. It is forecast to make landfall or pass very close to Babuyan Islands or northeastern mainland Cagayan. The Weather Bureau expects Egay to exit the Philippine area of responsibility by Thursday morning. Signal number 3 is hoisted over Babuyan Islands, northern and eastern portions of mainland Cagayan, northeastern portion of Isabela, and the northern portion of Apayao. Signal number 2, meanwhile, is raised over other parts of Luzon, now flashed on your screens. Metro Manila and several other areas are under signal number 1. These are also flashed on your screens. The Office of the Civil Defense assures the public that it's ready to respond to those affected by Super Typhoon Egay. According to the OCD, some of its offices are already under red alert and are on standby to provide efficient response. The office said it has already established evacuation centers from when Typhoon Dodong hit the country. The OCD also assures the public that it is conducting preemptive evacuations, particularly those in areas under higher storm warning signals.
And as we speak, there are still preventive evacuations being done in areas where, particularly in areas where tropical cyclone wind signal are in effect, particularly those under signal number 3. We are monitoring also, Diego, the LCUs and the parts of the country where Habagat, the southwest monsoon, is in effect as well because it brings rain as well. So
that's right.
This is also being enhanced by Egay.
Because of heavy rains, Manibela announced that it's suspending its 3-day transport strike. Chairman Mar Valbuena said the group is heeding the call of commuters for their convenience, but Valbuena warned the government that their strike will continue if it fails to address their concerns. Manibela earlier announced 3 days of transport strike beginning on the SONA Day on Monday. The group said this was in protest against the PUV modernization program and other lapses in the sector.
Suspended po ang tigil pasada natin bukas until further notice po. Kaming hinihiling na ngayon na kapalit niyan. Basta yung unang hinaing po na inilatag namin, yun po ay ma-actionan. Secret tigil pasada po ito kapag po tayo ay hindi napakinggan. So biglaan, kung hindi man ganun kalaki, pero siguradong makakaapekto ho ito ng todo rin sa ating mga kababayan.
And those are the top business stories of the hour. I'm Diego Castro. Join us again at 2 p.m. We are One News. All sides, all the time.